You're listening to Force Majeure, an actual play Star Wars podcast. My name is Adam and I'm your host, and today's episode will be brought to you after these words from our sponsors.
Hearken close, ye siblings bold, mighty warriors to tales untold, seekers five for deep desire, Brakka's mercy seek not ire, on heart-sought matters duty bound, which is not sought, is oft times found.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Force Majeure. My name is Adam and I am the GM for this little amuse-bouche interlude, which is titled Too Hut to Handle. I am joined around the virtual table by a couple of very special guests, most of which are new to the show, and they're going to introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about themselves now. Stu, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I will. My name's Stu. I'm the sort of the bleeny canapé of this particular amuse-bouche, flat and doughy. I am a GM on a podcast called Critical Ditto, which is basically Force Majeure with Pokemon. It's an actual play that we started a couple of years ago using a 2d6 narrative system that we've now been playing for a few years and has just gone mad. And we love it so much. I feel like I'm not selling it well, Tom. Is there something else we should be saying about Critical Ditto?
Well, let's introduce the listeners to me first.
The best part, yes, fair.
I am the sautéed olive of the amuse-bouche. I'm not sure if that's the thing in an amuse-bouche, but yes, I'm a player on Critical Ditto and very much living under the tyrannical thumb of Stuart Clark. And yeah, it's a lot of fun being there, and you should join us if you get the chance. If you're not busy, which is pretty much always our pitch, which is
we like the sort of third, fourth thing on your podcast to-do list. You know, if you've got
basically
time.
Start following it, and then in about 6 months to 12 months, you'll eventually be like, you know what, I should listen to that thing that I saw. I clicked subscribe to, and then you'll have a great time.
We promise.
Adam, did that? Do you think your listeners will really latch onto that energy?
I think they should.
We're not marketers 101, but is that a good pitch?
I think that's good. And as soon as Lou has introduced herself, I will cast my opinion on Critical Ditto, which, just to reassure you, will be glowing. Lou?
And I'm the mixed Volivons that is Lou. That is occasional voices on Force Majeure, as well as primary player on Dungeon Majeure, where I play Felicity, the Velociraptor.
And yes, Critical Ditto is an exceedingly good podcast. Even if you're not really that into Pokemon, like what I am, it is worth it just because it is, like, the story is wonderfully crafted, the players are magnificent, and I couldn't be happier that I've managed to get Stu and Tom on this show, because we've been trying to do this for a good 18 months to 2 years, and it's happened. It's finally happened, and I'm very excited.
On the eve of the birth of Stu's second child, we've managed to get there. We've managed to do it. Maybe not the eve. I don't know when. When they're due.
Mate, if they come on Halloween, I'm scared.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a bad omen.
On Halloween, like that's wow. Yeah, that's a night, isn't it? When was your child born? Oh, you know, the night of the devil.
The spookiest of nights.
Before we get settled on today's episode, let us get a destiny pool formed. I am bringing a dark side point to the table.
I am also bringing a dark side point to the table.
I am also bringing a dark side point to the table.
I am attempting to find some balance in the Force and bring 2 light side points.
Oh, nice.
So our destiny pool is 2 light and 3 dark side points. Cynabale. The backwater's backwater. A broken old planet in broken old space, bordering the outer rim and wild space. A planet of shifting blue sands which cover the remnants of uncountable civilizations lost to time, their legacy shattered, and their artifacts only known when one of the frequent ruin storms exposed the bones of the city for long enough for a few foolhardy explorers to crash in, loot what they can, and escape. Cynabale, where gravitic anomalies and hyperspace fluctuations make it easy to arrive and nigh on impossible to leave, where beneath the orange skies and burning suns, the desperate, despicable and the lost forge a life amidst the bones of the past. Cynabale, a place which has seen recent upheavals as power has shifted in bloody and ruthless fashion. In the aftermath of a brutal coup by crime lord and de facto ruler of the Soul City, Brakka the Hutt, the Empire have also arrived to stake their claim, and in pursuit of a recently uncovered Jedi temple and the secrets that lay within. Secrets, some said, to immortality itself. A mighty conflict arose between the forces of the Empire, those of Brakka the Hutt, and, it is rumoured, a quartet of gifted and devilishly handsome scoundrels who stole the secret and fled into the debris-choked atmosphere of Nearspace. In the aftermath of that battle, which resulted in the destruction of the temple and heavy casualties on both sides, an uneasy peace has descended on the myth-torn planet and the city of Red Yes. However, Brakka the Hutt, Brakka the Wise, Brakka the Merciless, Brakka the Mighty, is not content to sit on his tail and lick his wounds. An opportunity has arisen to replenish his losses and make new alliances, and it is to that end and that story that our camera zooms in, through the atmosphere, past the floating wreckage of TIE fighters and smuggler crafts, across the blue sands of the desert to the outskirts of the city of Red Yes, into the fortified compound of Brakka the Hutt, to his gilded receiving room, and the site of his latest, and likely not last, seneschal, as he addresses a group of unlikely individuals. As our camera zooms in, we see an Ortolan, a little blue elephant person, wearing finery, standing in front of a dais and looking exceedingly flustered as he starts to outline what needs to happen. Players, who is he addressing? What does our camera see?
I guess the first thing you see is that the camera pans from the Ortolan. The camera pans across the same sort of sight line as them, and then there seems to be a blank space where a person should be standing, and you hear a small cough of and the camera pans downwards to a little Ewok, and the Ewok is very much stood there in traditional Ewok clothing, in that they are not wearing any clothes, but they are wearing a little tie because it's a formal event to meet Brakka the Hutt. Do you want the name? Shall I give the name?
Yes.
Yes, this is the Ewok Chubb Salvage, who owns or would like to own a relationship advice clinic on Cynabale and help people find love or couples reignite their love for one another.
Next to Chubb. I say next to Chubb. What I actually mean is several meters away from Chubb, leaning callously against a pillar. You see the long, elegant red robes, gown almost. Yeah, I'm going to go gown. That's right. It was robes. It got upgraded to gown of Kotso. And yeah, if we're doing camera, it follows from the feet up this long body, elongated limbs, pink, fleshy, almost too fleshy, until we get to the head. And then we get to see gorgeous, longer than normal squid tentacles and slicked back fins of a quarren, a female quarren, who is examining her own fingers? Do quarren fingers? Or is it tentacle fingers? Yeah, they're humanoid enough. Yes, they do.
Stu and Tom's Star Wars knowledge on the full show for this right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. Yes, I should know exactly the number of digits on a quarren's left hand. Yeah, that is crucial.
You agreed to come on the podcast. Yep. We told Adam we knew everything about Star Wars.
You've let us all down, Stu. Let us all down.
Have you not seen the scene in Attack of the Clones? They're there. They're all there in the same pot. They have 3 fingers. It's a huge plot point.
I say that having stumbled over the word Ortolan about 17 times.
Yes, please keep that in there, please.
Of course.
Yeah, they're using these 3 dexterous digits to just comb their own mouthpieces. And these 2 fanged, large, long fanged bits at the top of the mouth are just... And she's not looking at the Ortolan. She's not looking at Chubb. She's far more interested in feeling the own slime and squid ink, delicately moisturising her own tentacles. That's Kotso. Remember the name.
Because Stu will not, so...
So we're better.
Oh, dang. I got.
And having, a minor piggy argument in the background is a group of 3 Gamorreans. They're grunting at each other. 2 of them are dressed quite similarly in sort of armour. Yeah, they're the big, chunky, generally Hutt guards that look like green pig men. Who knows what gender they are? it is very difficult to tell. But two of them are dressed quite similarly in armour. One of them's got a massive vibro axe. The other one doesn't seem to be have any weapons at all. And the third one is dressed in robes and has a big hydro spanner, which could be used to hit someone with, generally used to hit machinery. As soon as the Ortolan sort of make things, they stop grunting and, snorting at each other and all sort of turn around to have a look at what's going on over there. And this is Crunch, Grut and Salt, the three Gamoran siblings of some variety.
I like to imagine they did have a long-lost brother called Artemis, but he pursued different things in life.
He didn't last in Brakka the Hutt's brutal training camp.
The Ortolan kind of coughs nervously to gather your attention.
Okay. Lord Brakka, thanks you all for coming. My name, for those who haven't met yet, is Serial Quem, and I am currently the Seneschal for our glorious Lord Brakka. Long may he reign, and long may I serve him. Please, hopefully. I don't really want to be fed to the Sarlacc. No one here wants to be fed to the Sarlacc, and so...
The Sarlacc is very hungry.
Yeah, I mean, that's a defining trait of the Sarlacc, so...
I would like to know what other emotions the Sarlacc is feeling, other than hunger.
Perhaps the Sarlacc just needs a Mrs. or Mr. or gender non-specific Sarlacc to join them.
Chub, what are you talking about? Is this, what, are you going on about the love thing again?
I'm just saying that perhaps the Sarlacc is always hungry because we're not satisfying it in the right way.
What, Chub, I feel like you're going down dangerous paths there, and I would back out if I were you.
I'm just trying to understand the Sarlacc on a deeper, more Sarlaccian level.
I wouldn't advise it from my experience. They devour you alive over 10,000 years. No, but love is, to an extent, one of the reasons why I've gathered you all here today in service of our Lord Brakka. So as you may know, there's a new hut in town. Brakka the Hutt, she's new to Cynabale. She's brought a pretty sizable entourage, and as I'm sure you're aware, recently we didn't do so well. We've had a number of losses, and after the
It's okay, you don't need to sugarcoat it. You can say it was a disaster. It's been really bad.
I did see it on the quarterly reports.
And after the hut party, where our Lord Brakka managed to seize overall control before the Empire arrived, the local talent pool is perhaps a little shallower than our Lord and Master requires. So, Lord Brakka thinks it would be a very good idea if maybe he and Vekla could get together and have a discussion about the future. Maybe, pooling of resources, joint rulership, and of course when our Lord Brakka ascends to godhood eventually and dominates all the galaxy, he's gonna need someone behind to look after, the Lothcats.
What's the point of owning the entire world when there's no one to share it with?
Oh.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah. So, we're gonna set up a date night for Brakka and Vekla, and if it all goes well, then marvelous, you'll be well rewarded, you'll be promoted within the organization, you'll get the pick of the headdresses. There's so many nice headdresses around at the moment, and if it goes badly, we'll all be taken out and shot. So, the first thing we need to do, there are a couple of other groups that are also helping out on this. We've mobilized the whole group, the whole clan, the gang, as it were. We're all involved. Because if it goes wrong, every one of us will die. So...
Oh, it's a full everyone will die.
Oh, so stakes are high.
Stakes are very high.
Well, they're high for us. Obviously.
Now, I thought I was coming to a coffee meeting. This is very much pitched to me earlier as like come in for just a quick coffee and a chat, and now it feels like my life's on the line.
Yes, Quem. It was Quem? Was it Quem?
Quem, yes. Yeah.
Oh, I remembered your names. That's wonderful for me. Good for me. Quick sidebar, Quem, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, sure.
Why has Brakka selected this particular group to go together? You know how I feel about Chubb.
I know, but basically you were the last ones left. Everybody else, they already came in with their buddies. They buddied up. But luckily, Grut, Crunch, and Salt, They've been working for Lord Brakka for a while. They're going to make sure that you get through this all right.
Yeah. What are they doing? I'm just going to look back and see what they're up to back there.
One of them seems to be reciting very long, epic poetry at their siblings.
Wow, I was not expecting that. Dang. Theric.
One of them seems quite bored. The other one seems to be taking it in. Maybe writing it down, maybe giving notes.
Having a few thoughts, yeah, that's admirable.
Yeah. So, anyway, what I'm saying is that the situation is fluid. So what I'm going to be doing, I've got my clipboard.
And Quem holds up a data slate with a very, very battered looking stylus hanging off it, secured by a bit of ratty string and some gaffer tape around the top and bottom.
And as each objective gets ticked off, I'll find out who's free, and I'll give you the next one on the list, and then everything will go fine. You only need to worry about your things. Don't worry about everything else. It's too much to worry about. It'll crush you. It's not crushing me, though. I'm fine. I'm definitely fine. Anyway, I digress. What you need to do first of all is this. Have you heard of the exclusive restaurant called Dust?
Have I heard of the exclusive restaurant?
Of course, everybody's heard of Dust. Can't get a reservation, obviously.
So Brakka wants to meet there for his soiree this evening, but the manager is being a little uncommunicative. So the first thing we need you to do is go across to Dust and make sure that Brakka's table is secured for this evening's meal.
That sounds pretty reasonable, right, Co? We can work together. We can finally bond. I've been wanting to bond with you for so long, and yet every time I call you, you're like, "Oh, I'm not available. I'm doing something else. I'm trying to count my squid fingers."
I know. I've been so busy since I came to Cynabale. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is what a wonderful opportunity to spend some quality time with you, Chubb.
I couldn't agree more. I love spending quality time, especially with me, Chubb Salvage.
Quem, please, any other job, literally anything. I will babysit the poetry reading Gamorreans. Anything, please, Quem, we've been friends. I've helped you out when you've been in pressurized situations where you have felt crushed. Quem.
Co, there's room on my speeder for 2, and I'm only a little thing, so I could probably fit in another person we could all squish in.
I'm really sorry, but time is ticking on.
Yeah, and I will die if I don't do this. Yeah, so...
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
If it's any consolation, I'm really sorry you're all in this position, but you know what?
Me too, Quem. Me too.
Problem shared is a problem that affects a lot more people before it comes to me.
Oh. I thought I might like you, Quem, and now I'm not so sure.
Oh, I'm perfectly charming when we're not all potentially gonna die. There's a big speeder outside that can fit, all of you in. It's fine. It's one of the, like the big van type ones. It's not glamorous, but it does have plenty of seating and at least 20,000 miles left in it. Don't steal it and run away. We'll know.
Even with vans, Quem, beauty is only skin deep. I'm sure it has much more to offer than simply the looks. Come on, Gamorreans, and Co, let's go.
Smash cut to the ugliest speeder we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, what was that? Say that again? Yeah, Chubb?
I wasn't sure it would be that colour. It's sort of...
What is that leaking out of there? Is that liquid or is it solid? Because I can't tell.
Should smoke be coming from all 7 wheels?
Oh yes, you can always get a good bit of leakage and smoke. That's the way you know it's a good one.
I wouldn't lick it. God, I wouldn't lick it. No. Oh, well, that's happened. How does it...
Grat, are you okay? Are you feeling any form of illness? That was not a good idea to lick that.
Oh no, it's good for the bones.
That's good for the bones. Well, it's a good job I don't have any bones.
Can any of you drive?
I can drive my destiny.
Well, I guess I'm in the driving seat then.
Well, that's probably not a good sign for us. But yes, I'm happy for Grat to drive. Co, you happy for Grat to drive?
Kotso does absolutely not drive. I am driven. I'm Kotso.
Well, Grat, you're driving. Take us to Dust.
Oh, I'm driving.
Okay, and I guess we let. Do we all die here, Adam? This could be the shortest one shot you've ever done.
So, I suppose the first question is, Lou, Grut is in the driver's seat. Are Crunge and Salt joining as well, or are they staying behind for the time being?
They'll be in the back.
Be in the back. Cool.
Because, Grat isn't the best fighter, so if we need to get a bit heavy, also they're not the best at food. So, if we need someone who knows their stuff about food.
Decent croque monsieur, but nothing more.
Yeah, that's about it.
You pile into the rickety old speeder, and it starts, but it clearly isn't happy. There's some real kind of before it finally lifts up on its repulse and starts slowly moving through the streets of Red Yes.
It's really like it's incredibly slow for what is called a speeder. It is. People are walking faster.
There's so many speeders behind us, like...
There are people on little, bikes, pedal bikes in Cynabale, just being like, oh, this is embarrassing for that van.
It is very slightly faster than walking, but only slightly. It is fast enough than walking that you're like, I'm not going to get out and just walk, because I am in this speeder and I will go in the speeder, but it's not much in it. So yes, you travel through the streets of Red Yes, from Brakka's compound, which is on the outskirts, down a badly paved road into the suburbs of Red Yes, which at this point where you're in, it's all clearly part of a previous civilization, this bit of Red Yes, that's been reclaimed from the sands and then built up and restored with plasticrete and various other Star Warsian building materials, which I can't remember at the moment.
Yeah, the fact you had plasticrete to hand out is fantastic.
Well, I'm not even sure if that might be 40k. That's the worry of being a vague sci-fi nerdish type. It all blends into one. It's fine. It's lots of Gothic architecture, plenty of skulls, reassuring skulls.
Which emperor are we talking about?
Who knows, but they eat an awful lot of Force sensitives every day. You travel on, you can see the various shops that are starting to tout their wares. It's about late afternoon at the moment. 2 of the suns are in the sky, it's quite warm, and finally you get towards Dust. Dust used to be a freighter that has landed and then been turned into a luxurious restaurant.
Oh my God, yes.
It used to be a travelling restaurant owned by the Mon Calamari Maestro, known as Augusto Blo, who was famed throughout the galaxy far and wide for the power of his cuisine, who has come for the final challenge out here where no one has ever had taste. Consequently, his restaurant is generally booked up, as has been mentioned, for quite some time in advance, but I'm sure it will be absolutely fine. It is open at the moment, and there is a droid on the door, a droid maitre d'. They have a painted-on tuxedo, and they are holding a data slate and standing just inside the door, out of the wind and the dust storms.
Just as we're approaching, I put a tentacled hand on Chubb's. Top of Chubb's head. I think that's probably within reach.
Ah! Oh, no, sorry. Thought I was being attacked by a lovely, lovely person.
Chubb, a little word before we go in here?
Of course, we're a team. We can always have words with each other, kind or constructive.
Yeah. You listen. You understand that your attempts to ply me for money, for your what is the business that you're looking to open?
Yes, it has a name. It totally has a name that I wrote down. That business, and I believe it's called Love Salvage. Because it's like because my name is Chubb Salvage and I salvage relationships and broken hearts. So yes, I did actually want to talk to you about that, Co. Obviously, you've not been returning my my hollows about the old investment opportunities, and they are still open. They are still open, which is surprising. But if you did want to invest in Love Salvage, then by all means, I'm open to it.
Yeah, here's the thing, Chubb. That's never going to happen, and I need you to get it into your little furry head right now. All right?
But
No.
But Co, the thing.
No, it's never going to happen, and I'm going to tell you for why. Because love is dead. Love is a joke. Love does not exist. Love, if it does exist, exists to hurt people, and your business idea is rotten. And I just need you to understand that before we go into this mission.
Well, that's harsh, Governor. That's harsh.
I would say it's okay. It's okay. Crunch, I can hold my own. Well, Co, guess what? It seems like you like the word no a lot, which rhymes with Co. Co and no. But you know what Co also rhymes with? Grow. And I believe you can grow to love. Trust me on this. Perhaps you'll think differently after the mission once we finally find out about love and we bring Brakka the Hutt together, bring them a table and then all will be sorted out and you'll know that we did a good job and perhaps love isn't evil or dead or non-existent, which is such a dark way to look at the universe. Don't you think?
No, I think it's merely truthful, Chub. And I think you're a deluded little Ewok and quite sad. Shall we? And Ko continues towards the maitre d'.
Let's do it. I won't be disheartened by you, Ko. I will break you with love.
And Crunch lays a piggy hand upon Chubbs' shoulder like that.
Ah! Oh, sorry. I thought I was being attacked by a lovely Gamorrean friend.
It's all right, little man. We'll make 'em believe.
Thank you, Crunch. You are. I can see it in your heart. Do you have a special someone at home, or is it simply your brothers? Not in that way, just in a general familial love.
Oh yeah. There's lots of familial love. Lots of
Oh.
We've all got big hearts, big hearts and big smiles and very big axes.
Well, and that must help with love. Chopping down barriers, I imagine, is something that you and your brothers are very accustomed to. But I appreciate the enthusiasm, and yes, I will prove.
You gotta believe in love.
Exactly. I will prove to Ko right now that with this droid right here that's guarding the door, that love is always the answer to these sort of solutions. I'm sure if we're just very polite, very nice, and go in with the love as in the intention, they will simply give us the table. We'll have no choice. Excuse me, my good droid fellow.
And Chubb runs past Ko to try and get to the door first.
Hello there. Welcome to Dust. How can we help you this fine evening?
Why, thank you, my good droid. Might I say you look fantastic. I've heard so many good things about not just this restaurant, but about you specifically. How long have you worked here?
Oh, I have been with Master Blope for many, many years. I was specially waterproofed.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. And isn't that so caring of Master Blope?
Blope.
Blope.
Yes, otherwise I would be terribly useless from our home planet of Mon Cala.
Of course, the Mon Cala. Oh, so you are Master Blope is a Mon Calamari? Mon Calamari.
Yes, a Mon Calamari. He is in fact the maestro of Mon Cal. He has received favourable write-ups in no fewer than 27,000 restaurant guides.
And I am sometimes known as the maestro of matchmaking. And it sounds like myself and Master Blope will get on famously, but we have a slight spanner in the old starship with this one. My droid friend, I didn't catch your name.
I am Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
No.
Yes, no, I love Jay-Z. Jay-Z is fantastic. Can I just say, you seem so familiar now that you've said it. Of course, I should know you.
Do you have a music career at all? I feel like I don't know. I've heard something about it.
All I've heard is that, Jay-Z, it sounds like you're crazy in love with this restaurant. And I realise that's not a Jay-Z song, and it's actually a Beyonce song, but I don't care. I'm going to go with it.
That's fine. Inasmuch as I can possibly process the emotion most analogous to love, it would be very accurate to say that yes, indeed, I am in love with both this restaurant and my master.
Oh, that is absolutely what I wanted to hear. And Chubb gives a look to Ko as he then says, because we are also in love with this restaurant, most specifically our employer, Brakka the Hutt. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I am very aware of the actions of Brakka the Hutt. It seems like he would be a welcome addition to our restaurant's guest list. I'm sure he would love our food. And I'm sure that my master would be delighted to prepare a meal for him.
You know what?
And Chubb gives a smirk to Ko again.
I'm sure Brakka would love that as well. So if you could simply find a table, preferably the best table, for tonight, that would be fantastic, and we would love you forever.
I'm very sorry. We are fully booked up for at least the next 18 months. In fact, all of tonight is booked up for a special reunion of the Sarcastic Panther Swoop Gang. Normally we would not have them here, but they paid very well and they booked using the appropriate forms some time ago.
I see. 18 months does seem excessive. That feels like you're trying to get sort of a podcast crossover going at some point. That's mad. That just seems extortionate level of time. But the Bantha Swoop Gang,
Yes.
there's no... I mean, Brakka has been on a very strict diet recently, so it would really fit in. I'm sure if there's a table, maybe it doesn't have to be the best table, right, Co? It could be a smaller table, a table in the back, a table on the roof.
Co has somewhat frozen about 3 meters behind you, Chubb, and is standing looking absolutely stunned at the front of the restaurant.
My colleague here seems to be in awe of the incredible restaurant that you've got here, and would
Or has
love...
potentially crashed. Have you tried forcing an unexpected reboot?
I wouldn't try it if I were you, but you, by all means, Jay-Z, you can try and, I would say it might give you 99 problems, but it won't be one of mine. Co, let me just, excuse me 1 second, Jay-Z. Hey, Crunch, is Co okay?
Co, you okay, love?
Okay, I could have done that. Okay, fine. Yeah. Let's go and ask. Okay, thought we might brainstorm before, but I like your directness, Crunch.
I'm not the most subtle.
Really? No, that's...
No, I know. It's sometimes I just get carried away. I know sometimes you can hardly notice it, but yeah, sometimes me siblings say that I'm not the most under the radar, as it were.
Well, you know what, and that's just you, and you can't change who you are in that sense. So, very good, very very good. But yes, Co, are you all right?
It had to be. It had to be, didn't it? It had to be this restaurant. It had to be him.
Are you talking about Jay-Z? What's happened with you and Jay-Z?
Talking about Jay-Z? I'm talking about Blope.
Oh yes, the Mon Calamari, the owner of the restaurant. Do you know him?
Yes, you could say I know him, Chubb. Augusto Blope was my childhood sweetheart.
Oh.
Augusto Blope is the one that said he would marry me. Augusto Blope is the one who sponsored my entrance into the Tatooine beauty pageant, and Augusto Blope is the one who ran away with my winnings, leaving me penniless, and forced into a life of crime with some hut.
Some hut. Oh, some hut. I thought you said some hot, and then I was like, some hot what? What?
Some hot huts.
Some
Look,
hot
we
huts.
can all admit it. Brakka's pretty hot. I can hate love, but I can appreciate that body.
I think there's certainly a type, and yes, that if that's some people's thing, I will not shame them.
Well, if that's the saddest thing I ever did hear.
That was very tragic. I mean, Co, I'm so sorry. I mean, I sort of understand it now that what you need is your relationship
Don't
salvaged
Chubb.
salvaged with Mr. Blope. Oh well, it's destiny, is it not? It's destiny.
I can't go into that restaurant. I can't.
Play a game with me, Co. I want you to give yourself over to destiny just for this moment, just for this one singular moment.
And Chubb takes out a black ball, and you might recognise this ball with a number 8 on it in the regular world, but this one has a love heart on it. And Chubb says,
Co, take this ball, shake it, and I will read out what it says. Okay? And just give yourself over to whatever it says. I promise you you won't regret. This is destiny here.
Will you stop talking if I shake the ball?
Yes, I will 100% stop talking.
Then I 100% shake the ball.
okay, Stu, could you roll a D12? That's right. Sorry, Adam. Driver's seat. I've just jumped in for a D12 roll.
Whew. Okay, D12, here we go. It's a 6, Tom. It's a 6.
It's a 6. Okay. This is a hollow love ball, and we'll give reaffirming love
ball.
Oh, yes, it needs a theme tune. Yes. And it gives out fun phrases that reinforce love or, talks about destiny. So Chubb reads,
The dark side of love is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. Okay, well, I think we can all agree that means we need to explore this, huh? We need to go in there and find out what Blope is doing, right?
Chubb, this Mon Cala ruined my life. You understand that, right? This is not some relationship that you can just patch together. This creature is a villain.
I believe that they did ruin your life, and I'm sorry about that. But what do I see in front of me? I see So, who is still alive and still has a life, and it can be salvaged. Trust me.
Or we could just kill him. One, either way.
Now you see, Grunge makes a good point.
Yes, Grunge, I get what you're going for. And sure, I will say we can always kill him if it all goes bad. But maybe there's a chance that love could survive, and there's something there. Maybe it hurts so much, Co. Maybe it still burns deep in your soul because part of you wants it to work. It wants you. It wants it to rekindle. Do you know what I mean?
What I want, Chubb, is to not die. So I am going to get us into that restaurant. But it is not for love. And it's certainly not for you, Chubb Salvage. And Co is going to go walk to Jay-Z.
Oh, hello. It is good that you appear to be once again functional. Welcome to Dust. How can I help? My name is Jay-Z.
Just for the listeners, Adam's robot face is excellent. The droid face is excellent. I'm so sad.
Resting droid face.
Resting droid face.
Jay-Z?
Yes, hello.
Hello. Would you let Augusto Blob know that his mistress is here to see him?
Of course I will. Which one?
Number 3. I like to think that Co knows that Augusto just referred to his mistresses by number. And that's a bit of info that I don't know, or maybe I roll for it.
No, I'm happy with that.
Okay.
I'm happy with that.
Chubb is like, to Grunge, just goes,
Oh, okay. He's referring to his mistresses by number. I think I gave this guy a lot of credit in my speech just now. That
Yeah, this is awkward. This is really awkward.
doesn't feel like a good guy.
No.
Co turns back to Chubb and forms a little love heart with her squiddy fingers, and then cracks it, and then punches it, and then throws the imaginary heart on the ground, stamps on it with squiddy feet, fires some ink onto the ground.
I'll be honest, I'm feeling things I've never felt before.
That was a lot of destruction to that love heart, Co, and it hurts because I know that it hurts you, you know.
Jay-Z, any response?
I'm just sending the message right now.
And Jay-Z's face goes blank briefly.
Mr. Blope says, "Oh no, not you again. I'm very, very sorry, but I'm not speaking to you at all." Well, to be more specific, he used an awful lot of very impolite language which my protocol filters won't allow me to repeat. In short, I am afraid he's not open to speaking to you at this moment in time. He's very busy. Is there another way I can possibly assist?
Well, I think we're off to the Sarlacc pit, everybody. Hope you enjoy digestive juices that take 10,000 years to digest you.
Co, I thought that maybe your connection with Bloop would have been a bit stronger. That would have at least gotten us in, because what we now are, we are now outside, and then now we're all under the threat of death. So we have another option, and that is to convince the Jay-Z. Was it the Bantha swoop?
The sarcastic banthas, yes.
The sarcastic Banthas sound like a great bunch, really, and I'm sure that we can convince them to give up their table for Brakka the Hutt. Are Banthas in any way aggressive, or do they eat Ewoks? Are just things I'd quite like to know before we do this.
Banthas themselves are very large, mostly herbivorous creatures. The sarcastic banthas are, however, a swoop gang. Their leader is Detch, a Jawa, who has a most unfortunate reputation in this city, but I'm sure will be eminently reasonable when you go and speak to them. They have passed me on contact details that they can currently be found at the Captain's Chair, a local hostelry nearby, where they are enjoying a nice pre-meal drink. I am sure they will be more than reasonable to receive you, and if indeed they do give up their table for you, we will be more than happy to vacate their booking and pass it over to your master. That is only reasonable.
okay, Chubb is going to try and convince Jay-Z that... So Chubb takes out a hollow communicator and pretends to type on it, and it's gonna go.
Actually, Jay-Z, I actually know Detch. You should have told me it was Detch. Detch and I are famous friends from years ago. We're both, as you've seen, people of small stature, you know, beings of small stature, and we like to stick together at times, so Detch and I have a wonderful relationship. Let me just give him a call. Let me just give him a... Hello, Detch? Yeah, it's me, Chubb Salvage. Yeah, is it cool if we have your booking tonight at Dust? We just have a big... Yeah. Oh, you weren't going to come anyway? Oh, no. Oh, yeah. No, that's absolutely fine. Do you know what? We will happily take the booking. We will happily take the booking, and that'll be fine. Love to the family. Love to the sarcastic banthas. Love them all. I know you're kidding. Probably. Bye. Jay-Z, that was Detch, and yes, they have vacated their booking for tonight.
How remarkably fortuitous.
Can you please roll me a deception test?
Yeah, first roll.
Here we
First
go.
roll. Your difficulty is going to be...
A billion?
No. It's going to be 1 red and 2 purple with, I think, a setback dice. Do you have an ability that removes setback die? I think you may.
I think I do.
Kill with kindness, I think you have.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that immediately.
Okay. So your roll then will be...
I'm yellow, green, deception.
You can take a strain to use congenial, which will downgrade the difficulty to make it just 3 purple rather than a red and 2 purple.
I'm gonna go for it. Might as well. This is a one-shot, baby. Let's
Yeah.
use the
Burn the
strain.
bridges.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a boost dice as well because of your convincing demeanour and the use of the magic 8 ball.
Yay! The magic hollow
The
ball.
destiny ball. Whoa.
Result is
2 success and a threat.
Yes, that's good. That's really good.
can't believe that.
What a chub.
Okay, so successes then. We'll deal with that first of all.
Let's do it.
Jay-Z picks up their data slate and the stylus and says,
Yes, indeed. They have cancelled. Will your master Brakka the Hutt require all 18 seats that are available? or would he require just a few?
So many of them.
Did you? Yeah, chub gulps. 18 seats.
It's the 10th anniversary of the founding of the Swoop Gang. They've come from out of town.
There are off-world panthers coming. Oh, great. Then yes, we'll take all 18, and if any panthers show up, you can tell them that they are not. It's cancelled, moved to 18 months' time. Could you actually rebook them in for 18 months' time?
Oh, absolutely.
Detch told me to do that. Fantastic.
Given it was for an anniversary,
and this is the threat,
I'll rebook them for 2 years' time. Just so that way it stays on the same day. And that's a comm message sent to remind them of the new booking date.
Whoa.
Oh, a con message. Okay.
JC, you are so good at your job.
You are very, very good. In fact, quite very diligent, very much like the Empire. Some might say you have an Empire state of mind, Jay-Z.
Stop it.
I refuse.
Crunge, and Salt.
If Salt's here as well.
Yeah, they'll probably be hanging out at the back.
How good are you at guarding against banthas? Or
I don't think it's the actual banthas we need to be worried about. It's the gang members of which.
are they all gang? Are they all? Oh wait,
The banthas are they're cattle. It's the gang members on the swoop bikes that we want to be worried about, Chubb.
Oh, I thought it was a group of banthas who rode bikes, and I thought that was adorable.
This is your best friend, yeah? Yeah.
Yes, my best friend, Detch, and his very scary gang members.
Many memory cows.
Well, you know what? I say, cross that bridge when we come to it. We've achieved objective 1, and we've got Brakka a table for tonight. So I think win. Right? Right, everyone?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, that'll work.
Well, there we go. We'll deal with the bike gang. If they might not show up, they might not care. They're bike gangs, swoop gangs. They've got other things to do. They've got people to rob, people to kill. Hopefully not us.
Yeah, what does a swoop bike gang know about fine dining anyway?
Exactly. Thank you.
Can we contact Quem to let them know?
Hi there, this is Quem.
Hello, Quem. It is Chubb Salvage from earlier.
Hello, Chubb. You're calling back very quickly. I'm hoping it's good news.
It is.
The pad is waiting.
It is fantastic news, Quem, and might actually grease the wheels on Brakka getting involved in the investment opportunity of Love Salvage, my business that I'm trying to launch, because I have successfully, we, as a fantastic team, myself, Crunch, Salt, Grut, and Co., have and that's the person code. There's not more. There's not a company of other people that we've wrangled in. We have booked Brakka that table. In fact, we've booked what sounds to be the whole restaurant for a very, very private dining experience.
Oh, that's excellent. I'll be very happy to hear that. He doesn't like to dine with too much attendance, and if you've ever seen him eat, it's probably for the best.
And I hope never to see that, but I just wanted to check. There are no extra guards you've got, or others who might be able to come on down and just keep watch, because I worry sometimes about these types of places. They could get whacked, they could get hit, robbed, you know.
Well, that's how he works. We'll make sure there's adequate security. Don't you worry about that. It'll be fine.
Okay,
As you're talking to Quem, you glance at the side of your eye that Ko has snuck off from you guys and is actually walking past Jay-Z and into the restaurant.
Great, that's great. Quem, Salt, go with her. I'll follow behind. Yes, Quem, just a little situation here, but all fine. But yes, please make sure the security have guns and are willing to deal with sarcasm, and then all good.
Okie dokie. Let me see what's next for you and your group. You did so very, very well. Just let me look through my list.
Thank you. You know what? Positive affirmations like that are not forthcoming on Cynabale very often. It's a lot of rudeness and it's a lot of anger, so Quem, I appreciate your positive energy.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you what, just let me check through the list, and then I'll calm you back in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere and don't turn your comm off.
Okay.
And Quem hangs up their comm. Meanwhile, as Ko strides into the restaurant, Jay-Z, in that kind of stumbling walk that protocol droids have, is filling up.
I'm very sorry, you're not allowed in the restaurant just yet. Your booking isn't for a little bit longer. And Master Blope has made it very clear he doesn't want to see you.
Yeah, I heard you. I just need to check the table, Jay-Z.
Okay. Well, it will be,
And they brandish their arms out to this restaurant, which is decked out in traditional kind of coastal rustic. You know, whenever you go to, our American listeners are about to be horribly lost, but I'm hoping you can picture this. But when you go to somewhere like on the coast in, say, North Wales, and it's one of those good home-cooked pubs, and they've got all the fishing tat on the walls.
Oh, yes.
So they have
lobster nets. Yeah.
Lobster nets and upside-down fishing boats and jars full of tat rescued from the sea.
There's a vibro trident hanging on the wall somewhere.
Yeah. All that sort of stuff, mixed with a very strange, very kind of high fashion, marble and black marble and gold inlaid, and it's very jarring from the rustic sea tat with this very almost Greco-Romantic kind of marble, gold inlays, mosaic.
And this is all in a freighter as well.
Yeah, all in a freighter. Yeah,
wow.
What used to be the cargo hold of the freighter has been converted into this, and there are 6 tables with 3 seats around each table, kind of spaced equidistant, with very luxurious kind of red inlaid velvet padded seats. And you can see kind of on the far side there is a bar with a variety of real ales and drinks on tap, bottles behind the bar, and then beyond that you can see what is clearly the kitchen from the smells coming through, which are divine.
It's not an open kitchen, or is it a closed-off
It is
kitchen?
a closed-off kitchen.
Closed-off kitchen. Okay, well, Ko's eyes are entirely just trained on that kitchen. She is looking entirely towards that.
As you walk in towards the kitchen, past Jay-Z who's stumbling after you, you get to a certain point in the room, and then hollow projectors light up. And they are clearly projecting from a camera in the kitchen, because there is Augusto Blope. Massive trout head, proud.
As beautiful as the day I left him.
Perched on the top of his big orange trout head is one of those tall French chef's hats that goes up about a foot before poofing out like the top of a cupcake, and a long apron.
He always had the biggest hats.
And yeah, the cameras are focused on him, providing a panoramic view for all the diners of this maestro of the kitchen at work.
And he's great, isn't he, Ad? He's chopping, tossing, frying.
Oh, yeah.
It's good stuff. Oh.
Yeah.
Theatrical.
Okay.
Proud Trout energy.
Yeah.
Ko shivers as she sees this projection And I see the blue light of the hologram reflected in her pink, squiddy face. She attempts to crack knuckles that don't really exist within her soft, fleshy hands, steels herself, and begins walks through the hologram, walks through the center of the room, breaks the hologram slightly as she crosses through it towards the kitchen. I don't know if anyone's following her.
Yep, so Salt, the third Gamorrean, is following along. They move with a surprising grace. So, yeah, they seem to tread very, very lightly. And, once again, when Jay-Z tries to block, they just sort of, move around it.
That's a good point, actually. To what extent is Jay-Z trying to block us? Do we need to, does Ko need to, try and lose Jay-Z, or...?
Jay-Z is trying to block you, but Jay-Z is effectively... is C-3PO, except whereas C-3PO is gold, Jay-Z is this kind of metallic emerald green. But other than that is Jay-Z. They are that sort of protocol droid, so their attempts to in any way impede you physically is hampered by the fact that, well, you've seen C-3PO.
Yeah.
They are not... Yeah.
It's got these weird bits on their elbow that prevent their arms unfolding too far. Okay. In that case, Ko is heading towards the kitchen. I don't know what Chubb's doing outside.
Well, I was assuming this is sort of happening while Chubb was talking to Quem, so...
In that case, I think Ko's going to burst through the kitchen doors.
And I think, as you burst into the kitchen doors through clouds of steam, into the glorious fragrance of this award-winning chef at work, in this, the heart of their craft, that is where I'm going to end it for this week.
The quest begun on true love's trail, to mind that stout hearts must not fail. Cunning plans to clear the floor, great pain that lies beyond the door. Gather strength and charm and wit, lest end begin in Sarlacc pit.
Thank you very much, everybody. My listeners, I hope you enjoyed it as always. My players, thank you so much for joining us here for this.
Thank you.
And before we leave you, this episode's patron is Grumpus. Grumpus does not want a big song and dance, so allow me simply to say thank you very, very much for your support. It is a new year, everybody. I hope it has found you well and is treating you kindly. And we will see you all next time. Force Majeure is played using the Star Wars Force and Destiny game system by Fantasy Flight Games and Lucas Books. Our intro music for this season is Unholy Night by Kevin MacLeod, and our outro music remains Suburban Outlaw by Forget the Whale, both used with gratitude under the Creative Commons license. If you like the show and want to interact with us, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, all of which are at Force Majeure Pod, though Twitter is probably where you're going to find us more regularly. If you enjoy what we do and want to support the show, there's 3 ways you can do that. The first is via our Patreon at patreon.com/forcemajeurepod. The second is by buying us a coffee at ko-fi.com/forcemajeurepod. And the third way is by rating and reviewing us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, anywhere where you can find us. We really like reviews. It tells us that we're telling the stories that you want to hear and helps other people find us. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time.